Hi guys, welcome to In the Black, where I document our family's purposeful spending and my mum life in the messy middle. In this video, I'll be talking about how we did with our monthly budget for the month of June, while following me along for a day in the life of a day off work. Now, it is also the school holidays here, so my children are off school. Therefore, it's not quite a normal day in the life with no work. But you'll see me do some chores while also getting them out for a bit of fresh air and a walk, and then also getting prepped for our upcoming summer holiday. Kicking things off with income or inflow. For salaries, my husband's was a bit higher than I had budgeted for, which I was happy about because it just gives us that extra bit of breathing room. I do tend to budget on the lower side each month anyway for his salary because budgeting on the higher side just always leads to disappointment in my experience. Then child benefit was as normal. We had Revolut interest, which was good, and we also had interest from a fixed term deposit account that had matured this month. And then lastly, a small amount in vintage sales. Onto expenses, and beginning with fixed expenses. All categories here remained the same. There were no increases, thankfully. The renewal for health insurance will be coming up in the next couple of months, though, so there will most likely be an increase there. But for now, all was good with fixed expenses. Moving to variable expenses next, and I'll list those that came in under budget and then those that came in over budget separately. Starting with line items that came in either under budget or just about at budget. Family days out, surprisingly, is in this category, as was food shopping, pharmacy, pet stuff, bins, and travel and commuting costs. We went over budget, quite a few line items though. We were over in kids' stuff and clothes, non food groceries, takeaways and eating out, miscellaneous, which generally consists of things like paid parking, stamps, and other like bits and bobs. And then my husband was over in his personal spending. But for the most part, we weren't too far off budget for the overall variable expenses category as a whole. I could see from very early in the month that we went over budget quite quickly in some line items, and therefore we had to rein in our spending in other areas for the rest of the month. Otherwise, by the time we'd gotten to month end, we would have been way over. But that's the beauty of budgeting, I suppose. You can make your daily updates. You can see how your spending is trending and recognize where you may need to make tweaks as you go along for the month. Onto savings and sinking funds. We were able to add all of the budgeted amounts to our sinking funds and savings. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I really like to keep these ticking over with similar amounts each month. This is how I prefer to budget. I prefer to save in each fund every single month a little bit rather than focusing on one fund at a time. We were also able to save a bit more than budgeted for the mortgage overpayment fund, which then at the end of each month I add to the mortgage credit account. As for sinking and saving funds that we spent from this month, they included holidays, which was a little bit of holiday clothing and swimwear, and also sun creams and insect repellents. We spent from the school sinking fund. I had ordered a couple of bits of uniform for back to school already, and also paid an instalment fee for an upcoming school trip. We also needed a bulb replacement on the car, so we pulled that from the car sinking fund. And then we spent from the gifts fund, from my beauty fund, and then also the TV license fund. We finished out the month with in and around €50 left in the account on the last day of the budgeting period. So we used all of this amount and put it towards the mortgage overpayments. Most months I tend to divvy out whatever is remaining across a few different savings goals, but because we are just about a year away now from the fixed interest rate on the mortgage ending, I feel it's time to put the pedal to the metal here and throw every spare cent and euro at this goal if we can. That is my frame of mind right now, that we need to attack this goal really strongly for the next 12 months. Hopefully we can keep the momentum going and not slack off, because 12 months feels like both a really long time and also a really short time in different ways. So at the beginning of the month, we had budgeted to spend 42% of our income and to save and invest 58%. In the end, we actually spent 40% and saved and invested 60%. And that's our budget overview. I'd love to hear how you guys did for the month. We started off the month quite lousy, if I'm being completely honest. Within the first week, I could see that our variable spending was high in several line items, and it really meant that we had to rein things in for the rest of the month, which wasn't a great feeling. We did still end the month with around €50 in the account, as I've said, but that was because we had to haul things in so much. I will actually go into more detail about this in my upcoming financial peaks and pits video, so please join me for that one too. Thank you for watching In the Black, and I would love if you could please support my small channel by liking, subscribing and commenting if you can. Bye guys, and I'll see you in the next one.